everyone. So last week we had technical difficulties, which is why we did not post a video last week. But this week we're going to show you 2 weeks worth of records that we listened to on Monday. Last Monday and this Monday. So, with that being said, here we go. So the first record I listened to was, let's see if I can sit these right here without them falling. I'm sorry. Was Ravi Shankar and Yedui Menuum. I don't know. I'm sorry if I pronounced
Yeti
that.
Manure.
I said that so wrong, and I'm so sorry. But he's a violinist, and I'm sure everyone should be familiar with Ravi Shankar. He is an amazing artist who plays the sitar. And I really enjoy his music, which is why I bought this, because I like violin music and played violin for about probably 10 years while I was in high school.
How long did you play sitar?
Never played sitar, but wouldn't mind learning. That's something interesting for me. It's on Angel label. It honestly was a good record. Excuse me. I just anticipated Ravi Shankar to be on here more than he was, because that's why I bought the record, was to listen to Ravi Shankar with some violin in there, thinking that would be interesting, but that wasn't the case. It was more violin than sitar, which is okay. Like I said, I like the violin, but not what I anticipated. However, it is a keeper, so I'm keeping it. So, what's your first record?
The first one is Neutral Milk Hotel. It's I guess you'd say it's an indie band, for lack of a better way to say it. The album is called In the Airplane Over the Sea, and this is their second album. And it's one of those albums where the more you listen to it, the more intriguing it is, the more you want to listen to it, or at least that's the way I feel. I like to get their other stuff. I've looked online recently, and apparently they have a lot more in discography than I thought they did. I thought they only had like 3 albums, but there's a lot more than that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I really enjoyed that record. I'd never heard of them.
They have some EPs and some other stuff, but yeah, it's really good. I don't know how to describe it other than it's an indie sound, I guess, and the lead singer sounds like someone else, but
yeah, he does sound like someone that I've heard before.
we can't place who that is.
But I can't figure out who it is.
So, yeah, Neutral Milk Hotel, if you're not familiar with them, you should be.
Very good. The next record I listened to was Fred Astaire. And I really do enjoy Fred Astaire. I enjoy his dancing, enjoy his music, love his movies. There's the inside, it's a gatefold.
He makes good pizza, too.
He doesn't make pizza. You're silly. There's the label. Unfortunately, this record was a fail for me. It was 3 evenings with Fred Astaire, and that's exactly what it was. There was no full song on here. It was cuts and excerpts of his stand-up act.
Well, that song hadn't been written yet. It was Christina Aguilera's song.
What are you talking about?
You said there's no full song on there.
Full. Full. F-U-L-L.
Right.
Not F-O-O-L. Jeez. It was just basically little bits of of songs that he would sing into a melody. And then a lot of him just talking and introducing the songs he was going to sing. So I did not enjoy this. As much as I do like Fred Astaire, I did not enjoy this. And this record will be going bye-bye. Next.
The next one was They Might Be Giants' first album. Just titled They Might Be Giants. How appropriate. This one I had on cassette back in the 80s. And it's another, at the time they were an indie band. Now they're not indie at all. I mean, they still sound like They Might Be Giants, but on this album and the first, I think, 2 or 3 albums, it was just the 2 Johns. They didn't have a full band. And it's very experimental music at the time. It's very different from the other alternative music at the time, even though I don't think they called it alternative. It has 19 tracks, I think, and yeah, because a lot of the songs were designed for their dial-a-song answering machine they had in Brooklyn, where they lived at the time. So the songs are short and to the point and very strange, but, you know, if you like strange, you'd like They Might Be Giants. Maybe I might not be on in.
Is that one of your favorite bands?
Yes, They Might Be Giants is one of my favorite bands. They're definitely in the top 20 of my favorite bands, which would be an impossible list to put together, but
They're up there.
yeah, I've seen them in concert, I think, 2 or 3 times, and I was probably the oldest guy there, even at the time. So, you know.
That doesn't mean anything.
Nah. I was still there.
Nah.
Nah.
So next I listened to Steve Martin, Wild and Crazy Kind of Guy. And this was really, really enjoyable. I love Steve Martin. I think he's hilarious. I have a very warped sense of humor. Well, I guess better not turn him upside down. And he hits my funny bone almost every time. Bless you, Phantom. But yeah, this is really, really good. It had the cat handcuffs on here, which I think is funny. And King Tut, and Wild and Crazy Kind of Guy, and the Philosophy of Religion. Say that twice. But yeah, it was really, really good, and I will be keeping this one. Your next.
And this one's sort of different from the first 2, other than the fact that it's still sort of strange. Esquivel and his orchestra, Latin-esque. And this is a second pressing, I think, because the first pressing had the sleeve. This part here came out. It was like an insert. But there's really nothing. This is just the regular. This is an original, so I don't know if these have ever been reissued or whatever. I don't think on vinyl they have, but it's something I'm curious to check out now that I said it.
You got that on an estate sale, right?
Yeah, I got this. We went to an estate sale. This was the only thing I think I bought. I think it was like $1.
Yeah.
So it's in better condition than the other copy of this that I have, even though it's a second pressing. It doesn't matter one way or the other. But one of the great songs on here that I'm familiar with already was Mucha Muchacha. But yeah, Space Age Bachelor Pad music. It's good for what ails you.
It was a good record. So that's what we listened to last week. So now we're going to move into what we listened to this week. So first thing I listened to this week was the Brownville Station.
That's a good record. I have that one.
And it is a good record. I really enjoyed this record. However...
Oh, here comes the however.
It's like the but.
Here comes the but.
The thing about this record, when I first put it on, I was like, they remind me of The Who.
Who?
That's right. And I don't know why.
Why?
I don't know.
The who and the why.
I don't know. I don't know. They just had a Who-esque flavor to them on this record.
Latin-esque?
Yeah, in my opinion. And then I got Clearwater Revival, Clarence Clearwater Revival.
Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah, that.
Clarence isn't in the band.
Yeah, he is.
Is he?
Yeah, he's background player.
Mm.
And I don't know. That's what I got from it. Although I did really, really enjoy it, and Smoking in the Boys' Room is the last song on side 2, which is a really, really great song. Of course, most of the people in the 80s know that from Motley Crue, but this is the band that originally recorded that. And I found it to be very interesting, a slower version of that song.
Let me see the track listing. Barefootin' was the flip side on the 45. Does it have the 45?
I mean, I enjoyed every song. They were rocking. They were rocking. I was working and they were rocking.
Sweet Jane, that's probably about... Oh, that's Lou Reed, so that's a Velvet Underground song.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that was on there. Well, go figure. Here, hold on.
Why don't you show what you listened to?
What I listened to whenever the...
Monday
it was. Huey Lewis and the News, sports.
I love this record.
Something that I picked intentionally to be different than something I would normally go for. I mean, to play. Obviously, I bought records to play, or you'd never know it. But I wanted to go with a theme this past week. So, Huey Lewis, I have their greatest hits, and I think I have the first 2 albums on vinyl. And this one had 5 singles. Heart of Rock and Roll, Heart and Soul, Want a New Drug, Bad is Bad, and If This Is It. But every song on here is really good. And this was their breakthrough album. And I was going to say something about Huey Lewis and the News I always thought was funny. They were popular in the 80s, of course, but they sounded like they were trying to be a 50s or 60s band in the sense that, there's saxophone and stuff in it, and the songs are really simple songs. They're really, simple lyrics. Not that that's a bad thing, but in the 80s there was a lot of that kind of stuff. A lot of the bands had horn sections and saxophone players, and it's almost like it was a throwback without being a throwback.
Yeah.
A lot of the 80s, not like what was considered new wave or classic alternative, but a lot of the mainstream stuff, like Phil Collins and Steve Winwood and, that kind of stuff had a similar sound to Huey Lewis. Not that they sounded like them, but I just wanted to say that. Now I feel good.
Phantom was listening to you
I
so
know.
intently.
I hear him purring. All right.
All right, Penny.
Move it along, sister.
We have to put you down, or you can sit on my lap.
Or whatever.
All right. He doesn't like the record, so he might get jumped down.
He's going to knock that one off when he goes, too.
So the next thing I listened to was...
There he goes.
Christmas...
With the Cranks.
With Sesame Street. And this really actually was a really cute record. Yes, I listened to a Christmas record. One, that's very unusual for me because I don't like Christmas records. But 2, it's May and I'm listening to Christmas records. But it was next in line, so I had to listen to it. And the whole premise of the record was a story about Big Bird trying to figure out how Santa gets down the chimney and delivers the presents. And it was a super cute record. But unfortunately, sometimes when they're scratched just a little, they still play. Well, this one doesn't. So it will be going bye-bye, unfortunately. It is a cute little record, though. But
Let me see.
It's pretty scuffed.
Someone's been manhandling it, that's for sure. It's got all kinds of scuffs, which...
Yeah, it's got all kinds of
Oh
little
God,
scuff.
that side
Yeah.
is really destroyed.
Yeah.
And you bought this record and it was like that?
I know, right?
Because that's like not like
That's
you
like
at
not
all.
like me at all.
Why does this have... Was the whole thing there? It almost looks like
Yeah.
there's two records.
No.
It's supposed to be two records.
No, because one of it probably had a book that
Well,
went with it.
Oh yeah.
And all it has is this little sleeve that has Jingle Bells on it, or something else. Keep Christmas with You all through the year, which is one of the theme songs that they sing, and then True Blue Miracle. So it's just a sleeve.
Well, this came out in 1980, and this is way past Sesame Street's prime. As far as that's just my opinion, because I grew up with Sesame Street in the 70s. So, time the 80s rolled around, there was so much other stuff. But by 1980, I don't even think Elmo was on there yet,
No.
because he didn't come on there till what, mid 80s.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. No, it had Bert and Ernie, it had Oscar, it had Kermit, had Grover,
so
Cookie
so
Monster.
they could play that on K99 because that also your familiar favorites.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, my next record is something that you probably own, Juice Newton, and I think this is the first album. I think there was 3 or 4 singles on here. I recognize some of those. Angel of the Morning, of course.
I love that song.
Queen of Hearts was another single. There was another one on here that sounded, the sweetest thing I ever known. That was a single. And then she does Shot Full of Love, which I think that was who done that originally? There was someone that done it before her, but the Billy Ray Cyrus version is the best version as far as I'm concerned.
I was going to say Billy Ray Cyrus did it.
And then she does Everly Brothers, All I Have to Do Is Dream. River of Love, I think, is the one that I heard. It's like, I know that song. How do I know that song? But anyway, the whole album's good, I think. And
It was good.
I think I have a few other her albums. This one's on Capitol. But this one was probably her most popular. It's just called Juice. Freshly Squeezed.
Alright, so and then the last record that I listened to was Arctic Monkeys. And I absolutely love the Arctic Monkeys.
Well, you've heard that before. You've listened to it before, right?
Yeah. Brenton has this on CD and it's on my iPod. Can you help me, please?
What do you want me to do?
Take out that stuff because Phantom's going to freak out if I take it out on top of him. So here's the sleeve. It's just got the lyrics on it. And then
And it's just black vinyl.
just black vinyl record. But I
And
love...
this one's called AM.
Yes. I love this. Love this.
That's 3,
I really love this record.
4, 5, 6.
I mean, I can't say anything bad about it at all.
You could, but you're not going to.
I can't. Every song. I love every song. I rock it out when I play it. But yeah, Brenton had put it on my iPod, which I fell in love with, which is why I bought the record, and I have vowed to slowly buy the rest of their discography. Slowly. But yeah, that's...
Do you have any favorite tracks or just the whole thing?
Yeah, I do actually. Let me see. I don't know them by heart. Do I Want to Know is a great song. Why'd You Call Me When You're High is a great song. Snap Out of It, great song. Those are probably
How
my
would you
favorites.
describe the sound for someone that don't know the Arctic Monkeys? The Arctic Monkeys.
They are...
What kind of music?
I want to say they're listed as an indie band.
That's what I would say.
But I don't know if that's what I would call them. I would say they are probably kind of like pop rock.
Well, where's the Monkees are from somewhere in the Arctic, so what kind of music do they have up there?
In the Arctic?
Yeah, that must be where they're from.
They sing Frozen all the time.
Do they?
Yeah.
And I didn't know monkeys can sing, so they do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
Must be trained monkeys.
Yeah. I'm sure they are.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And the last one I got here is Bryan Adams, Cuts Like a Knife. And, you know, all of these last three was from the 80s. This album, I like Bryan Adams. He had tons of hits, like a lot of the, you know, mainstream artists in the 80s. But this album actually didn't have as many hits on it as I thought. I have the second one too, which I think the second one's called Reckless. I thought Kids Wanna Rock was on here, but I don't think it was. The songs that I knew, though, as far as singles, Cuts Like a Knife, of course, Straight from the Heart, and This Time. Those were the only singles on here, which is 3 singles. That's pretty good for any album, really. This came out in '83, which was his first album. But yeah, he has a ton of songs, as far as hit songs. And someone wrote their name on here, Gracie, whatever that says, Swift.
I thought it said Taylor Swift.
Well, that would be something, wouldn't it? But I only paid 50 cents for it, so, you know. I don't know if you can buy that for 50 cents now or not, if you can find it.
Well, you paid 50 cents for that Huey Lewis, too.
Right. But I bought that back at, it was 9/11 was the date on it. So back in 2011, I could buy pretty much any record I wanted for almost nothing. Can't do that now. Because I seen that Huey Lewis one on Amazon that used is $19.99.
Sheesh.
And they don't even sing the song.
Sheesh. So that is 2 weeks worth of what we listened to on Music Monday. And
Vinyl Monday.
No, it's Music Monday.
Is it? We don't listen to cassettes or nothing.
No. Well, you never know. We have cassettes.
You have a cassette player over there?
Mm-hmm.
And back there.
And a CD player, too. So you never know.
An 8-track player. Not anymore.
That could be arranged, though.
Mm.
Anyway, so that's what we listened to for 2 weeks of Music Monday. And
thanks for watching. Bye.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.